Hello team, welcome to the Triumph Tiger 1200 Rally Pro, which I think may be the sweet spot in the Tiger range, the Triumph adventure bike range. You've got the whole 900 Tiger range and the whole of the 1200 Tiger range now, been out for about a year now. I think this Rally Pro may be the sweet spot. There's varying different models, we'll go over a few of those, but today going to go for a ride on the Rally Pro and see what she's all about. There she is. What do we got? We got Triumph's triple 1160cc triple motor with the T-plane crank engine in it, which is a bit of a beauty. Got 148 brake horsepower and 130 newton meters of torque, so this is a powerful bike. Straight on riding impressions. It is a tall motorcycle. You've got a 21-inch wheel up front, long travel suspension, 220 millimeters of travel of suspension on the front and rear. So this really is your genuine premium luxury adventure motorcycle. So as well as being tall, I will say actually I've never ridden this Pro model. I've ridden almost all of the other models of the Tiger, but it feels really light. Much lighter than I remember from any of the other models. I'm really impressed. I've ridden the 900 before. That's a stonking bike. Very impressive. This 1200 is actually considerably bigger than that 900, which I was worried might hold it back, but not at all. It feels nice and light, really nice and flickable. So of course you've got that classic adventure riding position. Incredibly comfortable seat on this Tiger. Nice wide handlebars, sat nice and upright. Very easy. Nice light clutch, light gear shifter, very easy in town, as most adventure bikes are these days. Okay, so just coming on to the dual carriageway. Got her in sport mode, and as a lot of these adventure bikes are used for, which is touring, God, it's got a lot of poke. It's got plenty of power. It's a fast bike, the new 1200 engine with the T-plane. So I've got the screen in its lowest setting. It's adjusted one hand, highest setting, solid wind protection. It's a really comfortable place to be, just cruising along. I feel like when you're on the motorway here with that longer travel suspension and 21-inch front, it just smooths out that ride a little bit more on the road here. It's really impressively smooth ride. One thing I will say actually, and that's not too intrusive, it just you'll get used to it really quickly. Because of that T-plane crank, you do get some slight vibes through the handlebars, none through the pegs actually. I'm feeling zero through the pegs, but a few through the handlebars. Really nothing bad. So on this Rally Pro you've got standard cruise control. None of this radar cruise control up front. They don't have that on any of the models, the 1200 models. It's just a set and forget, and you're cruising. Very comfortable on the motorway. And if you want to get a lick on, oh, she's a belter. She's got loads of power on the motorway. Very comfortable and fast. Right, I'm just going to pop some fuel in. 20 litre tank, we'll get onto that in a bit, of why that is a bonus or a downfall. Let's get onto it now. The reason I think the 20 litre, which I think contributes to why the Rally Pro could be the sweet spot in the range, I just think if you're going for that Rally Explorer model, which is the top of the range model, it's got a 30 litre fuel tank, biased to off-road riding, but I've got to be honest, this is a big enough bike already. The one with the 30 litre fuel tank, that is a huge motorcycle, and if you're taking that off-road, you've got to be a really competent rider, let's be honest. I think it's just a little bit too big for the Rally model, so yeah, I think the 20 litre is ideal with this Rally Pro, making it a little bit lighter for off-road riding. Alright, all fueled up, out on some country lanes. Just amazed by the engine again. Really is a beast. It has lost some of that smoothness from the previous Tiger's triple. Is a noticeable character, shall we say, as Triumph like to keep on saying. It's not bad, it's just a bit of character added. Now my worry about this Rally Pro is the 21-inch front. Is it going to ruin the riding on road agility, etc., and confidence in the corners, it really doesn't. Okay, it does a bit, because in the back of your mind, when you're putting it into these corners, you do remember there's a 21-inch up front, not a 19, so you haven't got quite as much content. It's a thinner tyre as well, you haven't got quite as big a contact patch with the road, etc. However, genuinely, Triumph have done a really good job with the dimensions and setup of this bike for handling, even with a 21-inch front and long suspension travel. It's a really nimble and fun bike just to blast around on back lanes like that. So yeah, you're not making too much of a sacrifice opting for the rally model. Right, I'm just gonna actually pop her back into road mode. Sport is great fun. There is a little bit, it's not bad, but the throttle on and off in sport mode can be a little bit sensitive just on these smaller roads. I think it'll be nicer in road, so we'll see. Oh, this is a dodgy corner, always gets me that. Makes a nice noise, a little bit of meaty noise there, could be nicer. Pop that screen down. So the quick shifter is very impressive. Really impressive, up and down, buttery smooth quick shifter, which Triumph have just refined in their triples. Real pleasure to use, considerably better than the BMW GS. Yeah, boy, there goes the TC. Got some muddy roads, thank God for that, that saved me there. Shows modern tech helps. It's a bit of a hooligan, it's not a hooligan bike, but this is a quick bike, making me ride quite fast actually. Right, let's hang a left down here, past my favourite airport, Fairford Airport. Is it Fairford, Fairfield? Oh, I'm never too sure. Yeah, I'm struggling to make my mind up as whether I would go for the Rally Pro or the GT Pro. This is very impressive on road for riding, it really is. Handles fantastically, you can makes you want to ride it quite quickly, which is testament for a bike with a 21-inch front and weighing so much. It's really nimble. However, is the GT Pro, you know, personally I would be riding this 95%, maybe 97% of the time on road. Would the GT Pro make more sense? I think it probably would for on road. However, let's pull over and I'll just say why, let you know why I think the Rally Pro may potentially beat the GT Pro. Excuse me if this is getting a bit complicated with the different models. God, I like adventure bikes, it's ridiculous. So I ride for my mental health mainly, guys. Just something about an adventure bike, isn't there? It just gets you nice high riding position, commanding riding position, good wind protection. You can just soak up the sights a bit more, enjoy the road surfaces, whatever they be like, hit the bumps and potholes, etc. Be comfortable. Don't know, I just really enjoy a good adventure bike. So I just wanted to mention actually, we're even in road mode now. Don't get me wrong, it's not bad, but there's a slight like coming on the throttle. There's like a tiny bit of a delay and then the power digs in. Just there, it just did it. It's weird at slow speeds. It's alright when you've picked up speed, but yeah, just something to note there. I'm not sure if that's to do with fueling or throttle response or whatever. I'm not an engineer, but yeah, something to note. So just for the sake of the video, it's a little dirt track here on the left. Let's go to, not Off-Road Pro, because I am certainly not a pro. ABS disabled, we're in off-road mode. So you've got semi-active suspension, so it is adapting the suspension, ABS and traction control for off-road riding. Now, this isn't my bike, so we're not going to be doing anything extreme, and this is a really tame road. So we'll take it easy, but just for the sake of the video, you got to do some sort of off-roading. Actually, it looks quite slippy down here. But and this is ridiculous. You could do this on any motorbike, couldn't you? Yeah, this is just so sure-footed and planted, this Tiger. Really nice. It's the beauty of these, the Pro, you can genuinely, the rally models, take them pretty much, you know, some way more extreme off-roading than I just did there, and have a good time with it. and you're not making that much of a sacrifice for on-road. I'm still noticing that throttle's a little bit something on the on-off. Whether it's because I'm bad at riding, I don't know, but something weird. Back brake's nice. Nice, comfortable standing up. Really confidence inspiring. That's better with the throttle. It's because I had it in first. Smoothed it out. I gotta say though, like, okay, if this was my bike and I wasn't my first day riding it, I'd be a bit more confident, but who's really taking this type of bike serious off-roading? I mean, this is a big bike. You've got to be very confident and know what you're doing to give it the beans off-road. And to be honest, a track like this, you could easily do this on the GT Pro. If I was going off-roading, I really would go for the 900. It is considerably smaller than this 12. This 12 could be a little bit scary. If something went wrong, you could be in some serious problems. However, this is the first time I've ridden it off-road, and, you know, some practice, you'll be a lot more confident. Okay guys, I'm not going to go too much into technical specifications. Let's just say big anchors up front, Brembo, Stylimmer brakes, very strong, dual discs up front, notably really strong front brakes, very nice. Suspension, you got a lot of travel, 220 millimeters of travel, semi-active and electronically automatically adjustable preload. So it's got all the gizmos, this bike, all of the modern technology, bar the radar, blind spot and radar cruise control. Yeah, suspension's fantastic, brakes fantastic. Engine takes a minute to get used to. It's a 1200cc triple, but it's got that T-plane crank, so it has got like a tick-tick. I don't want to say this, but when you first get on it, it can potentially feel a little bit clattery. When you get to know it and you've used it a bit more, it starts making sense, and you just feel it as character, and you do quickly get used to it. So the motor's very nice, and notably, this is a quick bike. Despite the off-road intentions and setup, you can really hound this bike on road. It's a real blast riding on the road. Okay, so a couple of specs that I feel are worth going into is the seat height and the weight. So weighing in at 249 kilograms, wet weight, ready to ride. It's not a small bike, and for riding off-road, that's a lot of weight to handle. I must say, on the road, honestly, first jumping on, one of the first things I noticed was the nimbleness and the lightweight feeling. It really is a nimble, lighter bike. I would almost argue than the GS on the road. Even though the GS has got that famous boxer engine, down low, weights down low, blah-de-blah. This feels really light and nimble on road. The second stat, if I just hop on there, made that look easy because I used a peg, but I'm 5'9", 32-inch inseam, and I'm literally just on my tippy toes on this bike. So 875 millimeter low setting, 895 high setting seat height on the bike. It is a tall bike, absolutely fine when you're moving along. I actually find it a benefit on the road, gives you a higher view over traffic, etc. However, if you're not confident on the bike and you're doing a U-turn, manoeuvring around slowly, you just misplace your feet a little bit, you can easily lose it. It's very high, so that is a bit of a downside to the bike if you're not confident in manoeuvring the bike around, etc. Tiger, welcome. Another good point, it is a nice screen. I think I prefer the screen on the BMW GS, but haven't made my mind up yet. It is intuitive, this. You got a little toggle on the left, go along to the right, and you can just flick through all sorts that you need. Your damping, riding aids, coolant, your warnings, service, and then you can link your phone up, obviously smartphone, Bluetooth for nav, music, phone calls, all of the good stuff. Now let's see if we can turn, if we can't, as some people like to say, turn this baby around. Now I'm being careful just to demonstrate, because it's a tall bike, and this is probably the exact sort of lane people are actually going to ride it on. Now, okay, turned it around, no problem, but if I had a little bit of a problem there, I would drop this thing. It's just a little bit too tall. I mean, I would hope I don't have a problem, but problems do occur in life, and you want to be able to handle them when they do. It's just a little bit too much, this, for that. Right, I forgot to say why I think this would be better than the GT Pro. Ah, hello squirrel. My main reason for preferring this over the GT Pro, potentially, is the looks of the Rally. I just think the looks of the Rally wins hands down every time over the GT Pro. Just got that beautiful stance with the gold forks up front, slightly higher raised front with the 21 inch. I personally like the khaki green spec they do for the Rally Pro. I just think that is actually a wicked looking bike, a really cool looking motorcycle. So purely for that reason, not because of the better off-roading, purely for the looks of the machine, I would really consider the Rally Pro over the GT. And on that, you're really not sacrificing that much road performance if you go for the Rally. That's really the point of this ride, really, to find out if you would be sacrificing going for the Rally on road, but you're not. It's a great handling bike. Hello Pooch. Oh, he doesn't like the bikes, one of those dogs. Just before I forget, guys, a huge thank you to Blade Motorcycles in Swindon for lending me the bike for today. Get in touch with Blade if you're interested. Again, it's another example of the great demos they've just got coming in and out. Really worth getting yourself down there if you're interested in test riding, not just Triumphs, Kawasaki, KTM, Suzuki, Honda, all sorts. Check them out. So thank you, Blade. Oh yes, she gets up to speed fairly briskly. So we touched on the suspension earlier. It's got a lot of travel. That's semi-active, so when you put it in sport or road, it stiffens or loosens up a little bit, that damping, which it does deal with that long travel very well on the road, but you can notice the extra travel on the Rally than the GT. Not by a lot, but you can definitely notice it's slightly wallowing is the wrong word, but slight bit of give when you're braking and also coming on the accelerator. You know, you can just feel that extra travel that little bit more. So if you're not into that, you will want the GT. It's not bad, they have done a great job with it, but it is there. It is worth noting. The brakes are just outstanding. I mean, I've hardly even had to pull on, and just a light touch on the front brakes and you're done. That's all you need. Very impressive. I was going to go for the overtake, but I can't see a thing. So the thing I'm going to mention again is just the quick shifter. It's absolutely faultless. You can tell when a nice quick shifter is when you just completely forget about using it. You don't have to think what the revs are doing, are the revs high enough, can I change down or whatever, will it be a smooth change. You're just completely fallen into just using this quick shifter without even thinking about it, which is a pigeon, which is, yeah, a sign of a great quick shifter, I think. I quite want to overtake this vehicle, but not ideal roads for it, and that is why. Bad idea, Red Ang, be sensible. It's the thing about these new modern adventure bikes, they're so fast, just tempting to just overtake everything. These fields were completely covered, flooded with water the other day. Now it's back to its normal height, the river, which is nice. What a beautiful day to be riding a bike. Absolutely gorgeous. I got so lucky with the weather, I didn't even plan this. Oh, this dog's gonna bark. No, he's not. No, he's not. He's chilled. So, power-wise, guys, just whilst we're on it, this is a fast bike, as I've said already, quicker than the GS top end. But you're not getting quite as much torque on the lower down end as the GS. But overall, I think this motor is probably better for like sports touring than the Boxer. Oh, I might get some flack for that, but yeah, I think it might be. So guys, overall, is the 1200 Rally Pro the best Tiger money can buy? Well, it's not got the most tech, but then it's not got the least tech. It's sort of mid to high price range in the Tiger range, at £18,095. It really is a tricky one. I'm gonna say at the end of the day, I would go for a Pro or Explorer model in either of the models. You want the quick shifter, heated grips, all of the tech accessories. It really depends for me personally on the looks. I think I would soon get over the downsides to having a 21-inch front wheel and longer travel suspension. It's really not that big of a problem. I would go with your heart on the looks, whether you're going Rally or GT. This is still an incredibly capable bike on the road and rides and handles extremely well on the road. Really, down to looks, guys. It's a really tricky one. I don't know, I still don't know what I would go for. I'd have to ride the GT Pro again, but at the moment I think I'd probably go for the Rally in the matte khaki green. Looks superb. Very capable and impressive adventure bike. Whether it's the top of the pile in all of the adventure bikes, now that's a different question. At the moment I'm swinging towards the GS or the KTM Super Adventure. That KTM is just a freak of a motorcycle, freakishly good to ride. These Triumphs are a little bit more sensible, I would say. Many thanks for watching, guys. A shout out to Mental Health Awareness. The sun is upon us. Spring is coming soon. Get your bikes ready. Shake them down, clean them out, tighten up those bolts, whatever you want to do. Get ready to ride. Hopefully the sun comes out soon. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Ciao Bella!